Hello everyone and welcome back to the Belgian Beer Brothers channel. Cedric here in Antwerp with another brew review. And today I'll sadly consume the very last of my 7 American beers donated by Robert and John. Yeah, everything has to come to an end, right? Now, after those 6 delicious IPAs, we are having an Allagash beer. An Allagash is a rather large brewery in Portland, Maine, founded by Rob Todd around 1995, if I'm correct. But he saw an uprising of German and British beers, but had a hard time finding classic Belgian beers of which he was a fan. I actually think that around that time, Celis Beers by Pierre Celis in Houston, Texas was one of few, if not the only one around. So Rob established his then small brewery in a rented corner of a warehouse and started out with Allagash White, brewed after a classic Belgian wheat beer with coriander and orange peel, like let's say Hoegaarden or Celis White. He derived the name from the Allagash Wilderness Waterway, which is a 92.5-mile stretch of streams, lakes and rivers in northern Maine. And Allagash is actually a transliteration from the original Penobscot word for bark stream. Allagash continues to honor the indigenous folk to this day by working with the Nibezun community located on sacred Wabanaki land along the Penobscot River. Now we're having the Curieux, and Curieux is a 10.2% ABV barrel-aged triple that was developed back in 2004. Now we see that barrel-aged blondes can be marvelous, so I'm already excited about that. But as a cherry on top, Allagash gives us a bunch of details as well, and you know that I'm a sucker for data. So the beer is brewed with Allagash 2-row malted barley blend and local pale malts, and it's hopped with Nugget and the classic among classics Hallertau. Of course, it is fermented with their own secret yeast, and after the base triple is finished, it's aged for 7 weeks in bourbon barrels. After that time is up, a portion of fresh triple is added to the aged version, and the beer is ready to be bottled. Now, looking at this bottle, I do like that they use a classic shaped bottle. When looking at the label, it is again very stylish and very simple. They have the brewery name Allagash, the beer name Curieux, and then a small banner that says oak barrel aged in Portland, Maine, Belgian style golden ale aged in bourbon barrels, brewed and bottled in Portland, Maine, 10.2% alcohol by volume. And here it says bottled on the 12th of June 2024, barrel-aged golden classic, aging our award-winning golden ale in bourbon barrels layers it with subtle notes of vanilla, caramel and oak. I'm willing to believe that. Again, a very classic neck label as well, and they also went for the branded bottle cap. You know, I like those because I'll be making fridge magnets out of those someday. Now, John and Robert were kind enough to provide me with yet another glass. So yeah, you guys have seen this in the unboxing video. They had like this big a bag, which was filled up to the brim with gifts. And again, can't thank you guys enough. Ooh, there we go. Like the glass as well, by the way. Ooh, that is indeed a golden ale. Now, it is a 33.5 milliliter bottle and a 25, centiliter bottle and a 25 centiliter glass, so we will be adding a bit later on. But there is a tiny bit of sediment in the bottle as well, so we'll do that carefully. Now, I like this when a beer is poured decently. This Portland, Maine detail is just in the head of foam. I like that a lot. Now, when holding this up to the light, it's not really a golden ale. This is very pale, nearing towards a wheat beer or wheat beer. It has a very, very white foam. but it's also quite hazy. But yeah, I would call this like yellow blonde. It's not straw blonde because it's not an orange enough for that. But yeah, I would call this a nice pale yellow. Like I said, white foam, tiny bubbles, nice thin layer, relatively creamy. So it looks very classic. Ooh. First thing that I notice in the nose is oak, vanilla, a tiny hint of caramel, like they say on the bottle, but mainly that oak, that vanilla. A bit of carbon dioxide. Also slightly herbal. So I don't know if they used coriander in this triple for the base beer. No, doesn't say. But nonetheless, might very well be. I do have the idea that I get that out of the aromas. Doesn't strike me as a 10% beer, but we've been fooled before. So let's have a taste. Cheers. Yeah. Again, I already talked about my love for barrel-aged blondes. I think it's a shame that not more brewers do this. Most of the time we see barrel-aged stouts and dark beers and doubles and quads, but a decently brewed barrel-aged blonde is so good, and this is no exception to that rule. Yeah, it is lovely, mellow. I think it's a great idea to cut that barrel-aged beer with a hint of fresh triple as well, to keep that that freshness and that liveliness in, but in the taste as well as in the nose. First thing that springs to mind is, yeah, that oak and that subtle or not so subtle vanilla touch. A bit less caramel. I do find that caramel more in the aftertaste than in the initial taste. And I love how this beer also has a slight acidity in the back of the throat. Yeah, this really tastes like a decent triple, an old school Belgian triple that's not too sweet, but indeed that barrel aging process made it a bit sweeter. That bourbon and that vanilla from the oak makes it soft and sweet, but it also has some tannins from the wood that make it slightly astringent. And that might be that slight acidity that I just talked about. When I come to think of it, that might not be an acidity, that might be astringent from the tannins in the wood. So, yeah. And since I have a bit of a cold, I actually am more sensitive to that feeling. But yeah, this is a beautiful beer. I like the packaging, I like the aroma, I love the taste. Very nice aftertaste. And initially it doesn't taste like a 10%er, it's more like a 7 or an 8. But after swallowing and in that aftertaste, it gets warm and boozy, and that is when you start to realize that it's actually really a 10%er. So I'm not disappointed that this is a small bottle. Well, they gave me two, so I can enjoy one later on. But I'm not mad that this is a smaller bottle, because it's really a 10%er. Yeah, beautiful. Also, look at that swirl. This beer also has a nice density, a lovely mouthfeel. can make the bubbles dance when you turn your glass. That's also a giveaway of the density in this beer. Now on scoring this beer. I would like a keg in this for my own bar. But I think I would call this a rounded 4. Yeah. Definitely a 4. Yeah, I think it scores well on all aspects. Might even go a bit higher, 4.25 maybe. I'm not sure about that yet. But it is a beautiful beer. I'm sure I'm gonna enjoy that second one later on, but I think I'm gonna share it with 1 or 2 friends because they should know about this as well. Okay, that all being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks John and Robert for giving me these beers. I am a bit sad that the American week is over. However, it is already November 30th. That means that tomorrow I will have decorated this studio in Christmas theme, and we will start out with our 2 advent calendars. That also means that you guys can see me twice a day, and that will be one time at 7, one time at 8. I think I'm gonna do the Van Steenbergen first at 7 and then the Mr. Hop at 8 every day. But yeah, give me some kind words because I'm not sure I'm gonna make this. Nonetheless, if you guys like this video, hit that thumbs up, leave a comment down below. If you want to know more about anything or have any questions, send me an email or again leave a comment. And if you want to see more, tune in every day at 7 and 8 or just hit subscribe and the bell icon, and then you'll get notified whenever I upload something. And I will see you guys again tomorrow. Cheers and wish me luck. Bye.